Imagine this: two people are the same age, eat about the same calories, and live similar lifestyles. One of them, however, remains sharp as they age, remembers details with ease, and shows little sign of cognitive decline. The other struggles with memory lapses and brain fog. What's the difference? More often than not, it comes down to food. What we eat directly changes the way our brain ages. And one of the most powerful approaches ever studied for brain health is called the mind diet, short for Mediterranean Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. Today, I want to show you how a vegetarian version of this diet can protect your brain, boost your focus, and lower your risk of cognitive decline, no matter your age. The Mind Diet was originally designed by researchers who wanted to know if food could slow or even prevent diseases like Alzheimer's. What they found is remarkable. People who followed the diet closely had up to a 53% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's, and even those who followed it moderately reduced their risk by around 35%. Why? Because this way of eating focuses on foods that fight inflammation, support blood flow, and protect neurons from oxidative damage, all processes that determine how resilient your brain stays as the years go on. For vegetarians, the good news is that the core of the Mind Diet is already plant-heavy, but tailoring it to a vegetarian lifestyle makes it even more accessible while keeping all the brain benefits intact. Let's start with one of the most consistent findings in brain health research: leafy greens. Spinach, kale, collard greens, these aren't just good for you. They are directly linked to slower cognitive decline. In fact, one large study showed that people who ate a serving of leafy greens once a day had brains that functioned as if they were 11 years younger compared to those who rarely ate them. That's not a small difference. That's more than a decade of brain resilience. The reason is simple. Greens deliver folate, vitamin K, lutein, and beta-carotene, all nutrients that protect neurons and improve communication between brain cells. For vegetarians, making greens a daily anchor food isn't just a nice to have, it's a line of defense against one of the biggest risks of aging. Next, let's talk about berries. They're not just another fruit on the list, they're uniquely powerful for memory. Berries contain flavonoids, specifically anthocyanins, that improve communication between neurons and strengthen the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. Research has shown that older adults who regularly consumed berries performed better on memory tests than those who didn't, even when other lifestyle factors were controlled. But here's the kicker: berries don't just help prevent decline, they also improve performance in the short term. That means they support your memory today while protecting your brain decades into the future. Now, here's something most people overlook. Your brain is the hungriest organ in your body. It uses about 20% of your daily energy intake. The problem is, it can only use glucose effectively. That means if your blood sugar is spiking and crashing, your brain feels it immediately as fog, distraction, or irritability. This is why the Mind Diet emphasizes whole grains. For vegetarians, whole grains like oats, brown rice, and barley provide a steady, sustained release of glucose that keeps your brain alert without crashes. The difference is striking. Instead of pushing through afternoon fatigue or relying on caffeine, your brain stays fueled consistently. And over time, that stability reduces your risk of insulin resistance, which is now recognized as a key driver of dementia. Here's a fascinating fact. Your brain is nearly 60% fat by weight, and the quality of fats you eat determines the quality of fats incorporated into your brain cells. Nuts and seeds are critical here. Walnuts, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, they're loaded with polyunsaturated fats, vitamin E, and antioxidants that literally get built into the structure of your brain. Vitamin E in particular has been shown to protect against cognitive decline by reducing oxidative stress inside neurons. Think of nuts and seeds not as snacks, but as raw building materials. Every time you eat them, you're supplying your brain with the physical components it needs to stay sharp and resilient. One often overlooked part of the Mind Diet is the emphasis on olive oil, and here's why it matters. Unlike processed oils, which can increase inflammation, Extra virgin olive oil contains compounds called polyphenols that actively fight inflammation in the brain. Studies comparing olive oil users to people who primarily consume refined vegetable oils show significant differences in brain health over time. For vegetarians, swapping heavily processed oils for olive oil in cooking or dressings is one of the simplest yet most impactful changes you can make for your brain. Now, let's address a blind spot. While the vegetarian mind diet is powerful, it comes with challenges. Two nutrients that vegetarians need to pay close attention to are vitamin B12 and omega 3 fatty acids. B12 is essential for maintaining the myelin sheath around neurons, and deficiency can mimic dementia symptoms like memory loss and confusion. Since plants don't provide reliable B12, supplementation or fortified foods are essential. Omega 3s, especially DHA, are another cornerstone of brain health. While fish is the usual source in the traditional mind diet, vegetarians can get DHA directly from algae-based supplements. This ensures your brain gets the fatty acids it needs for communication and plasticity. By being proactive about these two nutrients, vegetarians can fully align with the brain protective benefits of the mind diet without compromise. One of the most exciting parts about this diet is that it's effective at any age. In younger people, it sharpens focus and concentration. In midlife, it reduces risk factors like high blood pressure and insulin resistance. And in older adults, it slows decline and keeps memory intact. Your brain is constantly remodeling itself, a process called neuroplasticity. The mind diet works with this process by supplying the raw materials, antioxidants, healthy fats, and micronutrients that make remodeling possible. That's why starting earlier helps, but it's never too late to benefit. So here's the big takeaway. Your brain's health is not predetermined. What you put on your plate today shapes how well your brain functions tomorrow. The vegetarian mind diet gives you a blueprint: greens that slow aging, berries that boost memory, whole grains that stabilize energy, nuts and seeds that build resilience, and oils that fight inflammation. Layer in B12 and plant-based omega 3s, and you've covered the essentials of long-term cognitive health. Because brain health isn't just about avoiding decline, it's about protecting your ability to think clearly, remember fully, and live vibrantly at every stage of life. If this video helped you, or you think it'll help someone else, there's so much more waiting for you on Plants Feed the Soul. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe for more plant-based lifestyle tips.